dreams, dreams been on motherfucking 10. Okay? Dreams been on motherfucking 10, like on some real shit. And last night, or early this morning, around 3 or 4 a.m., I wake up from a dream. And in the dream, I'm like driving down the road and I can see in the rearview mirror and there's two people floating above, like just floating in the sky, like just like some Max from Stranger Things shit. But it's a boy and a girl or a man and a woman. And I vaguely remember another part of the dream where I was watching the news before getting in the car, and they were also talking about these figures being in the sky, these particular figures. And I remember riding down the road, and I could see them, like in no perpendicular way, like attacking me. Did I feel scared or anything like that? It was just weird, right? It was like I knew, but it was like weird. So I'm looking in the rear view. The two people are floating in the sky, and all I hear is, "It's not AI." And in my dream, because I'm very much able to control my mechanisms and navigate my dreams as an intuitive, uh, I asked my guys, "I'm sorry, what?" And they were like, "It's not AI." And I woke the fuck up. I woke the fuck up and like purposely, and I'm sitting on the toilet with one eye. I'm like this, okay? I'm like this, like trying to pee. And I add this note. So I would remember, because sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, I hit the ground running, I keep going, and I forget about everything I've dreamed about. And by the time I even think about my dreams, I can't even remember what I dreamed about because I didn't have a chance to write down key identifiers that would help me remember. If I write something down and I can remember a key moment in the dream, I can go back and remember a lot of it. If I write nothing down and I remember nothing key from the dream, it's 9 times out of 10, I won't really remember what the dream was about. Now, I know I've been downloading and getting messages from my ancestors because I've been having the flashes. And if you're an intuitive and you're a psychic, then you know what I'm talking about. When you're laying in pitch black, you can't even see if you open your eyes up because the room is pitch fucking black and you're getting flashes of light. Your eyes can be closed and you're getting flashes of light. That's messages from the other side. That's downloads. And that shit happens nonstop, but it's been ramped up lately. Sometimes a dream is just that, a dream. Sometimes a dream is just a dream. But sometimes it is not. It is a vision. It is a warning. It is telling you something. What that could be, I don't know. Because again, everything's left up to interpretation. You have to let things play out. Just like the lady in red in the tarot cards. Even if you can't see it as you're reading it, you can't imagine what it could possibly be, who it could possibly be. When it all plays out, it makes total sense. And in the way that it fell. So who could these floating beings be in the sky? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I don't think that was the purpose. I don't think it's the floating beings in the sky that I needed to focus on. I think what I needed to focus on was the message. Because that was the one I said, I'm sorry, what? The message was, it's not AI. And again, we're going to have to wait for all this shit to play out. Granted, granted. But I did want to share it with you on a Sunday. Also, now that we're like in these perilous times, I think it's very important that everybody, whether you feel like you're gifted or not, should listen to their inner gut, should listen to their feelings, should listen to their intuition. The other night, several days ago, my husband said, when I get off work, let's get dressed up. Let's go out to eat. And I said, ooh, I really want to try some French food. I want to go do something new. If like we're gonna go on a date night, let's do this together. Okay, like let's do the whole nine. Let's get dressed up. Let's put on some fancy clothes. Let's go to a nice restaurant. Now the whole time I'm getting ready, I keep thinking about Kay from my book. I keep thinking about the character Kay from my book, who's based on a real person who does live in the same city that I do. And we weren't even eating in the same city. We were going to a different city to eat, but that's not the point. I just kept thinking about her being at this restaurant when we walked in. Like I could see it happening. I could see the interaction. I could see the facial expressions. It was like happening in real time in my mind. As I'm like putting pants on and my fancy little see-through black shirt, like it's happening simultaneously. Now, if you've read the book, then you already know we haven't had any contact in years. Like we don't speak. Ain't no reunification, friendship over type shit. But I pushed it off. I was like, that's weird. I don't ever think about this heifer. I don't ever think about her, what she's got going on, what she's doing. It was weird that it popped up in my head the way that it did. Because I hadn't been conversating about her like book wise or anything like that. So it was just fucking weird. So we get in the car, we head to the restaurant, and I realized 30 minutes into the ride, yes, we're like a half an hour down the damn road, I forgot my meds. And if I don't have my meds, I can't eat. I'll just get sick. So my husband, being the angel that he is, was like, we could just go get your meds and come back. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Now we get all the way to the house. I'm kind of in an ill mood at myself. Like, damn, I can't believe you forgot your meds again. Like, what? Come on, you've been on meds for years. Like, you're better than this. And so just kind of like trying not to let the light switch flip on the moon. And we pull up, and he's the one that gets out of the car and go get the medicine. Like, baby, you ain't got to move. You ain't got to do nothing. I'll go get your meds. He gets back in, and he was just like, do you still want to go to the French restaurant? And I was like, honestly, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like the way I've been feeling, the fact that I forgot my meds and it diverted our plan, the fact that we had to drive all the way back to get them, it just feels like we're not supposed to get to go to that restaurant. At this time, he's like pulling the car off, turning around, getting ready to head to a restaurant. I mean, it's 7 p.m. We need to eat. Hangar is still happening either way. And he goes, yeah, you're right. We'd probably run into Kay or something. I went, I'm sorry, what? Why would you say that? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, you don't ever mention her. You don't ever talk about her. Why would you say that she might be at the restaurant? And he was like, I don't know. It's just like a feeling I had. Like, I just had a feeling the reason we're being diverted is because she's probably there. And I went, let me tell you about this vision I just had in our closet, sir. So we actually went and tried Benihana's because he's actually from outside of LA and he's never been to one. And even though I've been to restaurants like it, I've never been to Benihana, which ended up being a great experience. We had a blast. We had a blast on the date. We were laughing. We were having a great time. We were cutting up. The food was good. They had some specials going on that night. A little overpriced. I'll admit, a little overpriced, but for date night, had a fucking blast, man. We had a fucking blast. That was the point. But the point I'm trying to make is if your intuition is telling you something, if a message is coming through, even if it seems like a random fucking thought, but it turns your stomach in some type of way, and other weird shit happens combined with it, don't fucking go. I don't even think that the restaurant had anything to do with Kay. Let me just put that out there. I don't think it had anything to do with her. I think there was a situation I was meant to avoid. And with everything that's going on with ICE, everything that's going on in America, that would be the most situation that the universe would have to protect me from because I have a fucking mouth. I'm not going to be like Renee and say, I'm not mad at you, dude. I'm not mad at you. I would straight be cussing that motherfucker out and telling him that his peen is small. That's what the fuck I'd be doing. So, I know the universe is going to have to protect me in ways, and I'm sure the universe is going to have to protect you too. So, lessons today. Write down your dreams. Maybe get a message. And if your intuition is telling you something feel off about my plan, something feel off about what I'm about to do, listen to that shit. Listen to that shit and shift. Doesn't mean your ass got to stay home, but it means you should shift the direction you were headed. Okay? Let's rock it out this week, America.